Hello.
Hi, everybody. Good job, Ava. That was perfect timing. Hi, everybody. It's me, Elise. We're here. Thanks for bearing with us, despite being a little bit late today because we're just running a little slow. Um, yes. Hi. Okay. My name is Elise. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am your GM for the evening. This is my wonderful crew of Spirelings. And tonight, the rotating camera off has rotated onto Tyler, and we'll just keep the rotation. Next week maybe Sarah doesn't want to be on cams. I don't know. We'll find out. But we just not yeah, we're just yep. Gosh,
It
okay.
helps that Tyler's picture is actually Tyler's
That's true.
character,
It's very nice
whereas
how that
mine
works
is just
out.
like a random girl from a video game who happens to be gay. So
Perfect.
it
All you
fits.
need.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if you want more great introductions like that one, you can watch our other streams. Tomorrow we're playing Moonstry Isle, where we'll do another really professional introduction, but Galway will have to do it, so it won't be my problem. And you can see me and Rachel and Sam playing that. And then I guess next week is Ghosts of Saltwater on Wednesday. Cool. And then Fates of Rin on
No, it's
Friday.
Monday. It's Monday. Sorry.
On Monday at
I was just checked out because you were doing
7
announcements, so I was like,
at 7 Mountain Time.
"Yup."
Mhm. And then on Thursday we'll do this at 6:30 Mountain Time. In theory, maybe 6:45. We'll try really hard next week for 6:30. And then on Friday, I think Fates Are In. We'll be playing at 7 Mountain Time. So you can check out our cool streams and check out our schedule using !Discord and join us in the Discord where a bunch of us just hang out and talk about cool things. You can also use exclamation point merch to see our cool merch, to see our featured artist of the times. I don't know how long she will be featured.
Does.
What?
No one does.
No one does. However, you can check that out by using exclamation point merch and see amazing featured art by our very own Chelsea and get that art for yourself, and then proceeds go to the amazing artist. Woo! Speaking of Chelsea, we've got a poem which we'll read, but in a minute. Don't let me forget anybody, including players and including chat friends. And then you can also use exclamation point donate. I believe we're featuring Hope for Haiti currently. Bill? I haven't checked, but let's find out. Someone hit exclamation point donate in there and we'll find out. You can use this command to find out about causes that are near and dear to our heart and our interests. Hope for Haiti is a great organization that you can find out more about how to contribute to the ongoing relief efforts there and the people who are doing good work to bring those bring that relief to folks. I laughed because exclamation point snack pack. We do need to know who our sponsors this week are. So snack pack, anyone?
It's not happening yet.
Taco Mac sweet potato fries.
Green tea and ice
thing.
cubes.
Oh.
Yeah, and also probably a late entry from random assorted crackers and charcuterie things.
Today's brought to you also by water from Rachel. And
It's going to be brought to you by Blue Apron because that's what Eric's making me. Except
actually,
Blue Apron's
cool
an actual
mug.
like supporter of people, so I probably shouldn't say that.
Don't say that nasty name unless they give us money.
Money or nothing.
I got stuff. It's brought to you by feta and salami.
Feta and salami. You heard it here first. Dinner
Sponsors
of Champions.
Of the stream.
Sponsors.
Dinner of Champions.
Yep. Water.
I did read that there's
salami.
been an outbreak of salmonella in Italian meats across 17 states.
Delicious.
I don't know the brands or anything, but
You know how you avoid that? Just don't eat meat.
Hey,
No.
vegetarians unite. All right, so you can, yeah, there you go. That's our stream sponsors for the evening.
Salmonella sponsoring the stream.
Salmonella is sponsoring tonight's stream. Watch Ava get sick in real time as she ingests Italian meats.
It smells like stomach ache, and it tastes like delicious salami
Tastes like salt.
and feta.
All right.
This is what I crave. This and pickles and mustard.
Yes. All right. I believe that's it for announcements for now. If there's something I forgot, someone do it in the chat. You all know. You've done this a million times with
They're
us.
all here.
In the meantime, I'm going to ask my players to introduce themselves. So why don't we start?
Wait, we also have a poem. I don't know when we're doing
Yeah,
that.
we'll do the poem after the introductions. Thank you for the reminder. I'll just toss things straight down to Sarah today.
Okie dokie, I'm Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I play Din, and her pronouns are she, her, hers. And now I'm gonna give it to Sam.
Oh, just as I shoved a sweet potato fry in my mouth. Hi everyone,
You
I'm
gotta work
Sam.
that sponsor in though.
Yeah, that sponsor though. I play Edic Shomusa, and we both use he, him, his. And I'm gonna pass it up to Ava.
Hi, I'm Ava. I use she, her pronouns. So does Chu, the Queen of Excess. I definitely didn't forget my own character's name for a second. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. I will pass it on to that side, to Rachel.
Sure.
Wrapped
yeah.
around, yeah.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I play Alvy, and we go by she, her, hers. And I'm gonna pass down to Tyler.
Hello, I'm Tyler, coming at you from the void. I play Anders and company. We all go by he, him, his. Back to you, Elise.
Thanks, Tyler. From the void, correspondent in the void. We'll occasionally check in and see how the weather is in the void. Yes, so let's read Chelsea's poem. Who would like to read it? Who's got their poetry reading voice on today?
All right, I got it.
Okay.
So, how's it going? Let's do a stress check. The threat's ever present, calm, and stability wrecked. The story is an artful, chaotic game of chess. Plays are in motion on the board with much hope for success, conjuring all the luck and the best vibes a blood witch could brew. Much love, Spire crew. I can see and hear you. Thank you, Chelsea.
Yay.
Excellent.
Can't see, but I'm
Yay.
applauding.
I totally forgot about the Blood Witch. You are
Well,
on
Chu
top of
didn't
her.
because that was definitely the last thing that Chu was talking about, I believe.
Yeah.
In the last game, which is a great segue into our recap. So, players, what did happen last time? And then I'll get your stress levels, and then we'll have Edic and Alvy do their things.
Chu talked about a Blood Witch. Oh, the sharks are. One of the sharks is missing. Itchy Jim is missing, and Ken is addicted to.
I thought Itchy Jim was addicted to
Actually,
the
Jim is
stuff.
addicted.
That's
yeah.
And
totally
Dan
what I
is
meant.
missing, I
Look,
thought.
Chu definitely sees
Course.
them all as individuals and not as just groupies.
Ken is devastated.
Ken is devastated. That's right. I think everybody went to go do their own thing, right? Like we split the group up for the night, and then we
Yes.
met back up in the morning, and we were discussing what to do next.
That is
And
correct.
I told my manager to put out posters that I was going to meet with the Blood Witch, and that I was back, and also to tie up whichever shark was addicted with rope until I came back.
Correct.
We came back to Perch from the heart, and there was a lot of chaos, and there are lists of lost people, and Molly Duval, the Blood Witch, is being blamed, but she hasn't been seen for a long time, so it doesn't seem likely that that is true. EO sent a letter to Chu about sending the, even though
Train freaks.
yeah, the train freaks after the swan, whose name is something with a C, I believe, but I can't remember.
Callisto.
Callisto, yep.
I thought you said
And
something with an E, and I'm like, I thought it was Callisto. But yeah. I have a few things. So one thing that happened was when we got out of the heart, everything just felt awful. Um, we could see that the bound who are typically night people, were just out operating in daylight, or not really daylight, but uh, smoke shadow. Um, there's a shit ton of missing people now. Um, and the
Because we were
swan.
gone for how long are we gone
We
for?
were gone for a week.
About a week.
right,
A little over,
The
yeah.
swan.
But
the
like
swans,
we didn't experience a week, right?
No.
Time
Correct.
was fucky.
But Byron did. The swan has struck again. Molly Duval is being framed for all of this. Saren suggested that the problem was originating from the top of Spire, so like New Haven area or New Haven area, um, uh, and Bertold saw that there was fear being directed at the morticians. Um, blah, 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 blah. I have the same notes about Ken and Dan and Itchy Jim. Byron had something very strange happen to him where he like froze up and was shaking and couldn't move. Um, he managed to mostly repair the armor, minus a couple of additional things that Edic can do. Um, we learned a little bit about what the magic behind it can do. Um, uh, oh, and also Chu told her cohort that they needed to stay together and stay safe.
Yeah.
And get the word out about Chu wanting to meet with Molly Duval.
Mm-hmm.
Um and at our the most recent thing was we had a big party meeting where Bertold told us that he wanted to honor Duel, and then he became uh Lord Drakul Divines and Entrails. Uh who has crimson red eyes and is an Elfir, which makes a few of us at least deeply uncomfortable.
None more than Anders.
But also it's important to note you're only him until midnight, right?
Until the next sunrise.
Until the next sunrise. Okay. So that has kind of set us on a bit of a time table here. And over the table, I did want to ask, because you're trying to have this whole honor duel thing, were you planning on just straight up chip chopping Juasha today?
Oh fuck no. No.
Okay. Cause that was like the sense, like I'm like, oh shit, he can only be this until, I thought midnight at the time, but like still a bit of a rapid timetable there.
I am daring, not suicidal.
Okay. Okay.
this
That
time.
clears that up for me because I was like, oh shit, are things ramping up that fast? Okay. So yeah, and that's basically caught everyone up on things. Do you want to go ahead and Rachel and I can talk about our two things, and then everyone who has
I
the
literally
stuff.
didn't talk at all about what happened with my stuff.
Okay, well you talk about your stuff.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't that much. I just talked with Saren, and they wouldn't tell me anything. But then they gave me a notebook into which I can write notes to them, and I will do it excessively. And that's it.
They did tell you something pretty significant about their identity, and that they
Oh,
are.
and how like they changed. Oh, but that they're the Dust Warden.
Yes, which you
Yes,
have
yes.
yet to kind of. I think Alvi might have some clues already, but could certainly spend some time or do the mental directory or whatever to kind of find out more about. But yes, that is also a part of it. And Din, I don't think we heard from as well.
Oh yeah, because I was just talking about the general story. Din basically had a mental breakdown about the demons, and then got some stress as a result of kind of spiraling. And there will be a little more on that when we talk about our new advances.
Ooh.
That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, so I need stress levels. So I have Chew on the top of my stack. So Chew, what's your current stress level?
Shocking 0.
Okay, and go ahead and roll a d10 for me because we did not roll Fallout to your bond with Bev. It is at 3 stress.
Nice.
10. You are safe and fine.
good?
There is no
Okay.
fallout. Okay.
Cool.
Din, how much stress?
3.
And can you tell me what to?
2 to mind and 1 to silver.
Okay. Thank you. Alfie?
0.
And have we resolved the fallout from your silver stress yet?
No.
Okay.
Because that happened in.
Yes.
That
and
happened
then,
right before we went
and
to
then
the
you got
heart.
whisked away to.
And then
Yep.
yeah. So there just hasn't been a chance yet.
Yes, absolutely. Anders.
5. That's 1 to blood, 3 to mind, 1 to shadow.
You're just all over the board.
Yep. I like to keep it varied.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
You gotta diversify your portfolio, right?
Yep, that's
1 to blood,
Yep.
3 to mind, 1 to shadow?
to shadow, yes.
Okay. And Edic.
1
to
mind.
Awesome. Okay, and yeah, what do Edic and Alvi want for their thing?
I had compel last week. Tough. I would say investigate, maybe, to find out more about whatever it is we're going to be going after for the ministry stuff. I just don't know the direction we're going to choose. So I'm like, I don't have a specific thing because it's investigate for finding out about the drugs and Callisto and the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 different directions right now. Chew wants to find Molly Duvall, Anders and / Dracula wants to find Juasha, and Edic was pointing out that there's a lot of things pushing you all towards New Heaven, which I think also Din, based on her kind of the compulsion that she was kind of feeling around the phobia with might also be compelled towards, although obviously that's kind of ultimately Sarah your call, but the the vision kind of thing that Din had while she was obsessing over the demons was certainly meant to feel to you like an urgent thing for Din. Just so you know. So there's at least those 3 things kind of pulling players or pulling characters in different directions, if that helps you decide like what Alvi might think is most important right now.
I missed the second one because my headphones cut out.
Oh, yeah. Anders,
that's why I was kind of like...
or rather, Dracul wants to find Juasha.
I would be more interested in helping with that because I am not going to go towards Molly with a 10-foot pole.
Fair. All right. So you can take investigate with with the particular knack of what would be,
unless like Dracul wants to go all on his own and doesn't want somebody else there. So you can't say the name normally; you have to say it like that. So I don't know.
You really do.
I don't know if he would want Alvy to be like, I'm coming along. This is great. Buddies.
Do we? I would definitely want you to come along.
Sweet.
So we can work that out.
Okay, got it. I will take investigate for that then. Thank you.
I'm also taking investigate, but under a different purpose. For investigating magical items. Elise.
Okay. Yes.
I also wanted to ask, because as everyone's about to find out anyway, I haven't chosen my new advances yet. I was wondering if you would let me retroactively roll for because I know we had said that Edic needs to apply his own magics to the armor to get it to work. Could you have let me do that last night after the fade to black sequence?
So that you would like essentially have it with you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Why don't you go ahead and make that roll? That's going to be a technology, or occult. I think you're proficient in both, so just take one or the other. And fix.
Fix.
And then you get your knack for it being, well, it's not demon specific. This is not. It was specifically not demon magic, so.
Yeah. I mean, he has weaved his demon abilities
Yes, I think that I
it.
was saying that I remember saying this last time, that Byron's extensive help thus far and his knowledge of everything that he had done up until this point was essentially granting you mastery, so you can take the D10 help from Byron.
So that's 4 D10, right? At
Yes.
this point. I wanted critical successes, but I'll take a 9.
Okay, yeah. With a 9, absolutely no problem restoring the original intention of the armor, which is that the armor is invisible to people when you are wearing it. So you can now wear this armor and get a +2 to your blood resistances, but it's specifically your armor resistance. It's a +2 armor. And you can, and it is invisible, right? Essentially, like people might kind of see it, but they're not going to clock it as armor. It's kind of a different type of magic, not rather than full invisibility. You can roll again. This time, I think without Byron's help, to get the additional effect that we were talking about, that Edic kind of imagined or found, of getting the it additionally helps you kind of like blend into, or like, yeah, like you can activate it to become more stealthy while wearing it.
And that's going to be when it happens, not right now, right? Or do you need me to roll that right now?
I was like, that's to restore that effect of the spell. There are 2 different checks to restore the 2 different effects of the spell.
Yeah, then we're going to go for it. Because right now, then the only effect that's active is the armor that no one clocks. The additional effect is the...
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So that would be a 3d10?
Yeah, that's going to be 3d10.
Okay.
Yep, an 8, full success. So this armor can now be activated. It's essentially once per situation. The armor can be activated to grant you effectively like mastery on stealth, where you're attempting to not be seen. So yeah, it helps you blend in, not be seen, etc.
Does this armor have a name?
If it did before you got it,
Joanne.
Yeah, I think Edic.
Joanne.
Edic can name it. Byron restored it. Edic restored the magic in it. So you name it what you want.
Okay, so so it would basically confer me a mastery dice when I'm trying to be stealthy.
Correct.
Okay. Gives mastery.
Stealthy specifically trying not to be seen.
And then I already included the blood resistance.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so everyone go ahead, do your advances. I don't have them.
Yes, let's quickly, so we can get into the game because it's been a minute. Let's kind of quickly just tell us, if you don't have to read it word for word, especially if you have a long one, but kind of tell us the gist of the advances you took. Everybody was given 2 medium advances. So, Ava, will you kick us off with choose new advances, please?
Yeah, the first one is called Rot. Basically, I can mark 1 to 6 stress for myself. And for every 2 stress that I mark, every character around me, including friendly characters, takes an additional 1 stress per every 2 that I mark to myself for the next day. So I can essentially mark 6 stress to myself. It's all mind stress. So then, of course, I can just yeet it off to somebody else. And then everybody else takes a lot of stress around me. I also have an ability called Swarm. You birth horrid creatures into the world. Just had to read that part. You mark D3 stress to blood or mind, and you retch up a writhing mass about the size of both your hands clenched together. When it hits the ground, it explodes into a swarm of highly venomous, flapping creatures, which look something between moths, horseflies, and maggots, which spiral around you. Anyone who approaches you takes D3 stress as a matter of course. I don't know what that means. It just says D3 stress is a matter of course. Repeated each turn in your presence, most sensible people will just run away. So I can vomit a swarm of gross things.
Amazing.
Yay!
Vomit the gross things. All
I
right.
can retch up a nice little loogie full of
Are
flies.
we the bad guys?
We are
Probably.
horrible. Chew in particular is the worst.
Chew might be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You guys to
Chew
the
is the
elf
bad
here.
guy.
Yeah, Alvy. What did Alvy get?
Me, I took 2 Vermisian Sage ones. The first is Unspeakable. You focus your mind and catch the words before they escape their throat. Focus on an NPC and roll Compel an Occult. If you succeed, they will no longer be able to speak about a concept of your choosing. The words will escape them. So basically, I can be like, I don't want them to talk about this anymore, and I can just make them stop so that they can't.
Beautiful.
So that might be good when somebody's trying to tattle on us or something. And then I took Memory Blank. You pluck unwanted events from the middle of those minds of those around you. Focus on a target and roll Compel an Occult. If you succeed, they forget a specific short recent event. They will overwrite it with events of their own invention that join up the gaps in their memory. So basically, I could just be like, no, you don't remember that happening. It's fine. We're going to go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Cool. So I took 2 Shadow Agent advances. The first of which is Harvest. Basically, when I kill someone, I can take their essence and turn it into a cover as if I had gone through the entire process of studying someone per my create cover ability. So that just, quickens the process, kill someone, become someone of their station in life. And then, pardon my French, but folle deux, is that correct? Did I say that right? For any of our French speakers.
Any French speakers in the crowd?
Je ne parle pas le français.
Okay, well, Ava
Sorry.
doesn't know, so.
Perfect, great. So this one, my conviction is so strong that it begins to infect others once per session. When inhabiting a cover, an NPC of your choice that's present in the current situation will recognize you as one of your covers and owe you a favor, even if you've never met before, but you should have done given your cover. For example, a quartermaster would recognize your soldier cover, a fashion designer would recognize your noble-born drow cover, but not vice versa.
Beautiful. Oh, it's cat cam time.
Kit.
All right, Sarah.
Kitty.
So I took 1 from the Hungry Deep, Chosen of the Hungry Deep, I took what is called Blessing. It says, weapons molder and crumble when brought against you and your allies. Mark D3 stress to blood or mind, and mark 1 stress to blood and mind of each other participant in the ritual. You place your hands over the heart of each participant and ask the deep to bless them in their endeavors. If they are attacked with weapons during the next situation, those weapons inflict stress as though they were 1 dice size smaller as they rust, malfunction, and come apart in their attacker's hands.
Beautiful.
And then I took a low advance from the Carrion Priest because I have been, I've been going through some changes. Been doing a lot of
Do those changes involve eating people?
but I've been thinking about
Let me
death
tell you, I've
and
been there. It's a
demons.
rough road to go down.
And
Especially if you don't have sweet pea.
it's true. Been hanging out, near cemeteries and just, all these like kind of places by myself. I've been gathering like some sort of dark Snow White. I've been gathering a lot of birds. So I got Murder of Crows, and it's the sacred birds of death come to your call. Mark D3 stress to mind or blood to cast the spell, which you must do so with access to a large open interior space or the sky. You summon a flock of crows, ravens, jackdaws, magpies, and all kinds of corvids who will do your bidding until the end of the situation. They aren't skilled combatants, but they can provide a distraction in a pinch, and you can talk to them in a weird croaking dialect if you want to ask them to gather information or watch an area.
Guys. We now have the birds and the bees.
We sure do. Oh my god. And Sam will be giving us edX advances, I believe, next week. So we can keep a pin in that one. But I did want to mention Rachel. You can add your knack if you want to add it to your character sheet. So for everyone following along, Rachel has maxed out how many mind stress resistances she is allowed, but her abilities continue to allow her to take resistances to mind stress. So the way that we've resolved this is essentially she's going to get a knack in resist. The resist skill. So the knack is in the resist skill, and it's against things that would make you take mind damage. So let's just go ahead and blanket that to anything that you get to resist against that would be mind damage. You get to roll with your mastery d10.
Thank you.
Yes, so you are iron-brained, which
I'm so sane. That's
You're
the
so
feeling everybody
sane.
gets from me.
You and Saren just
It's all the bees.
complete opposites. Opposites attract. What can we say? So sane, and Saren is so not. Yeah, okay. Whew, that was a lot of pregame stuff to get through. So let's get back to the table, at which we now have an elf here who is haughtily insisting that we need to go to, I presume, Amaranth to find Juasha. We have Chu, who has been repeatedly, maybe not insisting, but like bringing up the idea that Molly Duvall is a lead that we have to track down. And Edic, who has kind of put on the table that a trip to New Heaven is most likely in order, given all of the rumblings y'all have heard about something going down up there. So, yeah.
Just to clarify, Anders, or should I say Dracul's proposed plan was to actually go to Callisto as kind of a middleman to get to Juasha, rather than just hopefully not have a wild goose chase in Amaranth. So
Sure. The other thing I wanted to say is, Tyler, we didn't talk about this last time, but previously we had not let you get any further insights on the sword because Bertold would not have insights into swords.
Yes.
Is Dracul as a cover, similarly to how Bertold would take away Anders' ability to dig into that knowledge, is Dracul as a cover someone who would have knowledge of swords, and would you therefore...
Yeah, so Dracul is a solar devotee, so he is a devotee of Mother Winter, who is the reason for the Winter sword existing. So yes, absolutely.
I'm putting something in journal.
Okie dokie.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and check out your journal? You should have a new item.
Ooh, yes, I do have it.
Go ahead and read that for your friends. I'm not going to show it to everyone because on my screen, if I showed it to everyone, you would also see the GM notes, and I don't want you to see those.
Sure. So this is the Sword of the Winter Devotee, a square blade almost identical to the Winter Swords. When anointed with the blood of a true devotee of Mother Winter, the inscriptions on the blade will reveal themselves to the user just like a Winter Sword. Perfect. I love that. I am gonna
Why is it
look
not
up.
working there? I missed literally everything you said because for some reason my headphones keep cutting out, and they cut out for "it is this sword,"
I
and then a
will-
whole lot of blank, and then I love that. And
I
was
will
like,
put it in
What?
Twitch chat so that
Thank you.
everyone can read it, but it's in
My
Twitch chat,
headphones
so
just keep cutting out. So
check there.
sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, so I just want to double check in the strata if I can just bleed on it now, and or if it's like limited to it's got to bleed, and then it's only like for a situation or something like that. Like I just want to make sure that it is.
What is a square blade?
That is the description in the book, so if you want to use your mind palace to construct a vision of
The
what a square
Buster
blade...
blade of, you know.
No, I imagine it like like an actual square. Like the blade is a square with like a hilt coming out like the bottom, like a window.
Or like a big butcher knife. It's just very square. A short blade, but very wide.
My God, Matt, stop. Okay, continue.
Yeah, Tyler, that's on page 39 if you want to look at the Winter Sword. But I will clarify, when it says almost identical to Winter Swords, you may recall that the one insight Bertold got into this sword is that he didn't think it was an actual Winter Sword, but in some way that it might predate Winter Swords or be of like a make very similar to, but by a different artisan or something of that nature.
Sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and bleed on it now because it doesn't say that it goes away. So that'll give it the conduit tag.
Will it? Because you don't actually know what this sword is, do you?
Or is it gonna be okay? Well,
It
we're gonna
did
bleed
say
on it and see what happens.
almost like the Winter. It's not
Oh.
actually.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna use our
Okay.
very limited knowledge on
Go ahead
this.
and refresh that sword of the Winter Devotee.
Oh God. Okay.
And now I will show the players. Can you all see it?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just put it in everyone's
yes.
journal so you can pull it up. But go ahead, Tyler, for people who aren't looking at it.
Absolutely. So the wielder of this blade sees the forging of the blade and becomes a true devotee. Oh fuck! I hope this doesn't affect Anders.
What will happen to Anders?
Oh God! The blade can be activated by taking one blood stress to slice it across the true devotee's flesh. After doing so, the blade blasts a winter chill out. Everyone around you, including friendlies, take 1d3 damage or 1d6 damage if there is narrative reason for cold damage to do extra damage. Elfir only take one stress from this event.
Isn't that
Additionally,
convenient?
everyone who takes stress from this effect cannot move on their next turn unless it is all they do. Whew. So
1d3 stress.
question,
Yes.
real quick.
Yes.
Did I just? I guess it's two questions. One, am I taking one blood stress? And two, did I just set off a fucking ice beam in the middle of this room?
You did not. You have you are essentially currently witnessing a memory vision flashback where the runes and the kind of inscriptions on this blade are becoming visible to you in a way that they weren't before. And Dracul is kind of having this religious experience in which his devotion to the solar pantheon before, all of the gods of the solar pantheon before, was intense, right? He was a devotee, and now is kind of being honed into this very specific thing where he is seeing this forging many, many years ago of this weapon by Alfir, and specifically Alfir, who seem only to be devoted to the Mother Winter, whose hands were guided very specifically by Mother Winter. And you see in this vision the guidance of the goddess through the magic that is being imbued into this sword. And that's kind of this moment that transforms Dracul's kind of solar pantheon devotion into particular devotee of Mother Winter. And through that, you now gain access to this ability, but the initial anointing of blood was gives you the vision, not the effect of the sword.
Perfect. Okay, great. Wow. Okay. Oh God, Anders, what have I done to you, my
now
poor
Anders thinks
boy?
he's a serial killer and
Wow.
is probably a fully converted devotee of Mother Winter and still in the ministry. What could go wrong with Anders?
And also, doesn't he have something to do with Lady Luck as well, or the?
Yes, he's also a luck priest of Stolz in there somewhere.
This person is tearing themselves apart.
Yeah, I should have taken the sacrifice medium advance, which would have just let me murder my other selves, so I could be better. It's fine. I'll just slowly rip myself apart.
This is great.
Until Chew accidentally rips you apart.
This is great.
Also,
this is fine.
As a sword, it's a d6.
Chew can always thin the herd for you if you need me to.
Is it considered a masterpiece still, or
yes.
is it not?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just want to double check. Ugh, weird. Okay, great.
And now do we actually start?
Yeah.
Go forth and prosper, my players. What would you like to do? Are we doing a 3-way party divide and going to Molly, Callisto, and New Heaven?
Well, where is Callisto located?
Silver Quarter.
That's like on the way to New Heaven, right?
Insofar as anything up Spire is up Spire to you, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Edic is making a pit stop in the Vermissian.
Yeah, it's all in the Spire.
Yeah. I to kind of like her hand out, and she's like, I have to go and get Itchy Jim, one of my sharks, seems to have embroiled himself in some hijinks. He may be a good tie to finding more about this drug and potentially getting a line to the Swan, if that's what you're interested in. Once I get him, I'll be going to Lady Duval, or whatever her name is, the Blood Witch lady.
Molly Duval, yeah.
So I leave kind of, whoever wants to come with me can come with me, but I think that's, at least we could party for that part of the journey. I still don't know where she is, so I kind of have to figure that out too.
You wish for me to accompany you to find a shark with a drug problem?
Yes. Yes.
I will not be doing that. That is beneath me.
I mean, there are other options. I could put you in the ground, then everything would be above you.
And with that, Dracul is going to get up. Anyone who wishes to be my servant when I go to speak to this little Callisto may accompany and do such.
Oh, I for sure won't be your servant, but I'd like to go with you. I think that would be great. But you're not going to be your servant. You're not really this.
I
deep
have
down.
itch in the back of my mind that says you should come with.
As an equal. And I punch him on the shoulder lightly.
Oh boy.
Right, buddy? We're going to become
I'm
fast
going
friends.
to let this slide. Do not touch me again.
Rakul, I have a confession to make. I will have no part in this because you smell of elf here.
I am an elf here, yes. Do you have a problem with elf here?
Oh my god. She was gonna be like, if it wouldn't kill everyone else in the room, you would have been dead already. And then she gets up and she walks out and is like, anybody who wants to come along and try and find something interesting with me can. Otherwise, like I'll get to New Heaven in like 3 days, and if I don't show up, then I'm probably dead. Or in the next
Look
3 days.
around this room. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 other people. 5. You see 5 problems with the elf here.
I mean, I'm all right.
You're part of the ministry, aren't you?
I am.
You're part of the ministry.
I am, but like, I don't hate all Elfir just for being Elfir. I hate some Elfir, and it is also different. It's Anders. This is just a facade. I mean, it's real, but it's also not.
Mhm.
It's Anders. Everybody loves Anders, right? We're all good friends with Anders.
I am not Anders. I have a scent.
He's Anders.
Okay, I go to the vault. I will then head up to the New Heaven. If people are also going there, I see you up there.
Oh god,
What's
we're
Din
doing a
doing?
whole party split. Let's go. Full
Din,
party
will you
split.
come with me?
It's unlike me to go against my training as someone who respects the Elfir, but I'm being drawn to New Heaven, and it needs immediate action.
Okay, so Edic and Din will head to New Heaven via Vermissian for a stop in the vault. Chu will investigate for Molly Dval, and Alvi and Anders are. Oh, go ahead.
Should I disguise myself somehow? Because I was at the pool party, and I did release the bees on.
You do not need a disguise.
But I did. I did.
I sent you. I sent you.
Oh, so okay. As long, yes, okay.
The pool party?
You know,
Pool party.
the party
Yeah.
that everything went disastrously
Oh
wrong at.
yes.
Yeah,
I
okay, there we
recall.
go.
There it is.
Okay. So Alvi and Anders to Callisto Brox to see about finding their way to Juasha. Is this correct?
think so, yeah.
Before they go, could I? So, Alvi, how? If you're not the servant, how are you? What are you going to do? They've seen you. Let me dress you for success.
Ooh, do I get a makeover? It's time for a makeover. Okay, I think that make it good.
Okay, and so maybe I made it seem like this is me talking to you, not Din. I made it seem like maybe it's gonna be a nice makeover, but I'm just making you look like an Elfir servant. So I am
Nice.
So you will gain access to the fixed skill. So you will roll with mastery on compel and deceive checks for the next situation.
Deceive isn't a thing I really do. I gotta stop picking characters that don't lie. This makes everything hard. Jesus.
Do you have access to fix, and you get mastery on compel and deceive?
Compel and deceive.
Got it. Okay.
Would I recognize? Like, I mean, I worked up in like the gardens and stuff, and did serve an elf here. So am I gonna recognize like that I look like that now?
Probably.
Oh. Thank you, Din.
I helped.
And I'll just shake Aurelia at you a little bit. My little dried goat husk.
All right. So let's start with Din and Edic as they make their way first to the vault and then up to New Heaven. So the first thing I would like to know is please recall that the streets of Perch, so such that they are streets, the walkways, the perches of Perch are openly in kind of a skirmishes, civil war type situation. Not full civil war for all of Spire, but city guard versus local vigilantes and the citizenry kind of hiding, ducking away from the conflicts, trying not to be caught in the fray. So, is there anything that Din and Edic would want to do in response to thinking about how you might navigate that space?
We did have like an entrance to the Vermissian pretty darn close to our hideaway, right? Like that's kind of what I recall from when Saren like took us here to like our hideaway area.
You did not come straight out here. You came out just kind of in Perch. And Saren has not otherwise escorted you. This base is like a ministry space that you are using for Lukash's kind of. As far as you know, this is the last place that you met with Lukash and have not seen them since. So they went into hiding, and so now you're using that. And the entry to the Vermissian isn't far. You're not going to have to like go all the way across Perch, but it's not like directly right here.
Dean, you mentioned that there was quite the urgency in your need to go up to New Haven. I feel this. How urgent is it?
As soon as possible. But if you have a good reason, if it's something that's gonna help us against the force that I am feeling in that area, the demonic. I can barely say it.
Aw.
Forces.
So there are three quick ways we could go. We could go the normal way, no risk, no reward of experience. We could go the second way, which would be a back door that is so open you would incur a little bit of stress. Or the alternative is I rip open a hole in reality and we go through that. I don't know how urgent this is.
How much stress would I take? Like, what's the potential stress to go through the back door, and also to what?
Once per session, you find an entrance. Where's the vault? Once per session, you can find an entrance. Where is it? I mean, I know it's like if they come through into a back door with us, like they take stress, right? I
Yes.
don't have it listed here. Do you have that, Rachel?
Back door. You throw open a door, blah blah blah. No matter where you are in Spire,
Occult
any
plus
non-stage
resist.
character who enters the vault should roll resist plus occult or suffer mind stress.
Okay, so I just had occult plus resist, and I didn't write anything else here. All right.
Okay, I do have resist. And does it say at all like how much stress?
So with resisted, basically, the better you do, the lower the die of damage you take. So you want to do as good as you can. The least amount would be 0, and then with like a success, but like at a critical, you would take 0. At success, you would take 1. At fail but stress, you would take a D3. At complete failure, it would be 6, and at critical failure, it would be D8.
And yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty compelled to do that, and also there is the chaos. So is that 2? I would roll 2 because I do have resist, or
Yeah, if you have resist and your base D10 and you don't have the domain of occult and you don't have a knack that applies or any other mastery, then yes, 2d10.
so yeah. So that's what I would want to do. Did you want to like get something from the vault?
Yes, so Edic needs to really quickly find out some information about the pendant that he stole.
Mm,
It should not take him long because he's really good at this. And then if we need to be up in New Heaven in like, you know, 5 minutes, we can do that.
Okay.
And that's like 5 like in world minutes.
Right. As quick as possible. Um, let's do the back door.
All right, so if you'd please follow me, and Edic is just gonna kind of go around a corner and oh wow, a crack in the fabric of Spire.
So that's a failure
Oh
from
God.
Din. So Edit, go ahead and roll a d6.
1.
Nice, good roll. So you take 1 mind stress. Congratulations.
Okay. All right.
Does that put you at what, 4 total stress?
Yeah, 4 total.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d10, and you want a 4 or higher. That's a 3, Sarah.
Well, I
Sarah?
mean, removing the stress early. I
Of
like how
course you
this
take
game.
more mind stress right now.
I like how this is our game that like last season Arc Chunk we all like had ways to remove stress, and this time it's like, oh, our way of removing stress is by just taking all of the fallout.
Yep.
Okay, so this is going to take your fallout down by, or your stress down by 3, so you can erase 3. And you're going to take the shaken condition. You cannot focus on what you're doing. You may not gain dice from domains until you take the time to calm down. Cool. All right. Yeah, so Edic, we'll say you, after you can see that Din is very visibly upset, is just kind of like cannot keep track of things, but you can still lead her wherever you're going. And what are you going to do in the vault?
Well, first, didn't you have been in the mission several times before? What is this? Who?
Demons. Where we gotta go. We got to see them. And why? What time is it?
I mean, if you
Have
need
we
to see
gone?
them, I can show you. You've already seen Byron.
No, 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 no.
Okay. Um. Uh. Uh. Are you going to be okay?
Yes, of course.
I am not getting much confidence out of you right now, but I will take your word for it.
Can
Alonzi.
Elise, like, when? How long do I need to like take a rest or something to like not be shaken anymore?
I think that it would like it will. I think there should be like something that you kind of have to sit out from a little bit for
Okay.
it to count. I think also that this, having recently kind of, to give you a flavor for it here, if it helps you kind of just see where to go with this. Having recently kind of strengthened your connection to the Hungry Deep, you the unrest, the unsettledness that you're feeling, has like this kind of hunger to it, that comes, that is familiar now to you and is becoming more familiar to you as you kind of strengthened your connection to the Hungry Deep. And I think that one of the things that is drawing Din's focus, as she is unable to kind of keep track of what's going on and just kind of barely stumbling after Eddic, is the idea of decay. You see, like in your mind's eye, the vision that you saw in the crystal ball of the destruction of Spire, and you are kind of circling these thoughts of how decay and destruction are inevitable, but demonic destruction is not the same as decay. And you're kind of, these thoughts are kind of driving what this is, and or whatever this shaken kind of condition that you have is. And it would take sitting out of something narratively, but also
Right.
you could also play something kind of towards the Hungry Deep, like the rot, the decay, the rusting, as something that would help refresh this or relieve some of this feeling.
Okay. So now that I'm in the vault, I'm looking for, I'm trying to figure out obviously this pendant I got. So like I'm looking for, books on magical charms, equipment, because clearly it's not like a demonic energy I'm familiar with. It's like I don't know what as a sage I have been able to glean from this, but whatever I have been, I would be using those as like research points. Um, and because I'm in the vault, I am able to perform an investigate check on any subject. So
Yes.
here we are.
Go ahead and roll your investigation, and we'll take the domain. I mean, you're in your own domain, so
Academia.
yeah, academia makes the most sense to me. And go ahead and roll.
So academia, investigate, and then this is going to be 4d10 because I have the base and then I have my knack for things. So here we go. All right, so that's 2 10s.
2 critical successes. So critical successes do stack in Spire. So this is a narrative roll. So we've basically, you get what you want, and you get some sort of additional narrative benefit from this. I will say that this was an incredibly difficult thing to find about because the heart is extremely hard to research. Things from the heart are extremely hard to research. So getting 2 critical successes here is going to net you a lot, whereas any other kinds of successes may not have. So
one like little narrative spin I want to throw on this is that because it's too critical, I probably found it quickly,
yeah,
whatever it was. But like as I'm searching through, uh, eh, Dean, Dean, you know what
It'll
I
probably
was
take a while.
thinking? You know what I was thinking? Remember that vision we all got from the crystal ball?
I can't stop thinking about it.
That would really suck if it came to pass, right?
oh my god.
I just sit on the floor and start sobbing. You can hear me
Right?
just sobbing.
Okay, that was it.
Oh, okay. just cool.
Just antagonizing.
Just antagonizing Din.
Well, Eric doesn't know.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
He's just trying to have some small talk.
All right. So here's what you find out. The scholars that you took this off of. They you find only a few records of a group like this. Essentially, Vermissian scholars, much like yourself, Vermissian sages, much like yourself, have over time a faction or people, one or two, much like Saren did, split off from the sages to travel deeper into the heart, deeper into the unreality down there. And since then, there's kind of been not only those who join from having been a Vermissian sage in Spire, but also these kind of a new cult of Vermissian devotees who have a different brand of Vermissian flavor, magic, Vermissian abilities, etc. And those are the people you encountered, natives to Spire or to the Heart, not people who were originally from Spire and then migrated recently to the Heart. And you also find reference to, you recall that you were at a festival primarily devoted to Garrick, the human god of technology. And you put together that this pendant is something that was specifically brought to the it was worn by this one person, the kind of leader of the group, specifically in the interest of merging the occult magics of the Vermissian kind of cultists of the heart, with the kind of technomantic magics, technological magics of the followers of Garrick. And so you kind of study it, and more facets of this pendant are revealed to you as you do so. And you kind of come to the conclusion, based on everything that you've been reading, that this is essentially something that benefits the user, both in the technology and in the occult fields, specifically, or domains, specifically with attempts to produce very specific mechanical magical effects. And so it is almost like a full little, as you study it, the idea here is like you can look into it with whatever problem, mechanical style problem that you need to solve to make magic happen in Spire, or in the heart, really. You can look into it, and as you focus on that problem, facets of the mechanisms, the bolts, the screws, the way that the pieces would all need to fit together for the magic to stick and work, are revealed to you as you stare inside this pendant.
So it helps with creating those magical components, or
with understanding what it needs to happen to be able to produce mechanical, like essentially to enchant or create enchanted items. How would you go about doing that? This pendant grants mastery in that field, in that domain.
Okay, excellent. That is super cool. I am very stoked about this new piece of information. So I'm going to go like skipping on back to Din. Din, the last time I saw you, which was like 2 minutes ago, you were not crying on the floor.
We have to go. We have to go to heaven.
You okay? Are you in the shape to go to New Heaven?
I just start walking in the direction that I assume is.
Well, do you need... If you could be there right now, would that help you?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't think this is gonna help you, but I'm gonna roll Beseech Demon.
Okay.
Oh God.
Because
This is
one of...
bless Edic's heart. He's just like, I'm trying to help.
Because one of the abilities of the labyrinthian demon is to create portals from anywhere in Spire to anywhere else in Spire.
Okay.
Goodness.
And so we're gonna go right to New Heaven, assuming I don't fail this occult roll. Beseech Demon is roll compel plus occult. I have a knack for dealing with demons, so this is going to be a 4d10 here. And then if it fails, I'll roll it again. Because I don't want it to fail.
That's a
Do we
9.
get a success? Oh, we got a 9. Okay,
Yes,
success,
9
no
is a
stress.
success. So, you hear kind of in your mind as you kind of beseech through the Penrose pendant, you hear kind of a yawn, like a sleepy, like, "Ugh, you woke me up," and then this like portal rips open in front of you, and the ripping open of this portal, Din, go ahead and just mark a mind stress. I think we're not going to roll that one. We're just going to mark it. Does that put you
Does
up?
Din know that this is demonic energy?
Um, the the way that the portal visibly and other perceptually, it's not sensually, sense, it's not sensual, but the way that you
I
sense
mean,
it
can it be?
Sense it.
yeah, well, for I think it might be, but
Sensorial, yeah.
though, yeah, sensorially, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. That reminds Din enough of the vision of the sundering of the upper spire that absolutely Din would see this and think this is demonic activity. And given that she's already shaken by thinking about demons and has this phobia, we're just going to go ahead and mark that mind stress. That puts you at 2 total stress if I have your count right. Is that right?
Yeah, so just one mind stress
Yeah, you just take one.
additional.
Yeah,
Okay.
and go ahead and roll roll a d10. On a 1, you would take fallout from this.
Okay.
8. Hey, I'm gonna say that this unshakes you because you just took stress from something that was caused directly from being shaken. So I don't want to like force another narrative consequence on you. This relieves you of the shaking condition, but you are I don't think well
No, yeah.
based on this.
Yeah, so I would say, like Elise said, I can sense that this is the same thing, and I have the mask, but you can see that my eyes get as big as they can get behind it, and I just like scuttle far away from it. Like I don't want to go through this thing.
You just it's right through this door right here. Din.
Byron's like, I can't hold it forever. Are you going or not?
Uh, Din, come on, it's time to go.
Sarah,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, you can roll resist here if you want to try to get Din to force herself to go through the portal. But that's also up to you if you don't want to do that.
Me?
No, Sarah's just rolling resist.
Let's like narratively, let's have Sarah roll resist and see what the action says,
Yes.
right?
All right.
So 2?
Yeah. Do you have the occult domain?
No.
Nice.
Okay, a 9 is a full success.
All right. So, we have not tried slut shaming the demon. No.
What? I don't have chat open, or like I have it open, but I'm not like looking at it, and so I have no idea. That came out of left field to me.
and you
I
know who
do.
said it.
I
Like,
Oh,
okay, so let's say that Din has this is happening, but she's also compelled to get to where she's going. She sees Eddic standing there and everything's fine, and he's like being good about it, like, and is like, hey, come on, right? So we'll say that, like, almost against, like physically, as if she is being pulled in two directions at once, she like forces herself to stumble through the portal.
And because someone followed my orders against their own wishes, I get to refresh the one
That's true.
stress that I have.
That's
Okay, hold
true.
on.
Wait,
Um,
that's
so
a
I get-
refresh of yours? Wow.
Yeah. Have someone follow my orders even when they would rather not. All right, so how much stress do I get to refresh here?
You can roll a D3. Do you only have one stress?
Yeah, but I don't have any of my resistances.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll your D3.
Yeah.
Make it a D6. I think Din was pretty resistant, and
Yeah.
make it a D6.
Okay, here we go. D6.
I tried.
I really
Um,
wanted my resistance.
Wow.
Sam and Sarah, will
No,
you?
no, 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 no. That really didn't happen today. That happened today.
Is this one of your abilities that you can re-roll a die?
Yeah, yeah, that didn't happen is the ability. Once per session, reroll all of the dice in my pool as I reveal the events that just happened to be false. So
You're like, no, I feel
Zero.
real satisfied by this. Okay, yes, go ahead and take 3 off. That's fine. I would like Sam and Sarah to please remove your headphones for a moment. Okay.
They all
Players.
die.
Hold on.
Yeah. Make sure you can't hear
My
anything.
speakers were still on. Sorry. Can I like stay with my mic on?
You can stay with your mic on as long as you
Okay.
can't
I can't hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Sarah? No, she's probably good then.
Ooh,
Okay.
exciting, juicy.
Ava, Rachel, and Tyler.
Ooh, yeah.
I would like your help in determining a consequence to something that just occurred. You may recall that Byron was gifted a nose ring from Edic. This nose ring was a item that came from the heart and was imbued deeply with the unreality of the heart, which we know has consequences when mixed with demonic power. I have promised Sam that no harm will come to Byron because I don't want this to not be fun for anybody. What additional effect should the beseeched demon have? What chaotic, unintended additional effect should the beseeched demon have based on this information?
Does it have to have something to do with the heart, or?
Not necessarily, if you have an idea for that.
Could it like permanently transform part of his body to be like demonic?
Part of
Like-
Edic's body?
Yeah.
I would accept that.
Like Byron kind of like fuses a little bit, like just physically
Yes,
with
I would
him.
accept that as a type of consequence.
Yeah, because Edic's wearing the nose ring, right?
Byron is wearing the nose ring.
Byron is wearing. Okay.
Can
Yeah.
it just
so
be his
Edic's
fingernails?
nose
So he just
become-
has like really long demonic fingernails that
Mhm, that could be.
are like black and so.
Yes.
I think it would be interesting for Edic almost in a like a la Rauka kind of way to start taking on demonic features as
Okay.
there's that direct connection. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I like it too. Let's have Sam and Sarah. Somebody yell in the chat at Sarah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, Edic and Din, can you both hear? You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. As you step out into New Heaven, and the portal closes behind you, Din, you have followed Sam or Edic against kind of your own better judgment here. You are feeling shaken, unsure, scared, and you look over to Edic, who has gotten you through this, and you see on his hands, his fingernails have grown and extended out and have taken on a sharp, one might say demonic shape. Sam, you may recall that you gifted your demon friend a unreal, um, an unreal artifact of the heart.
Sure
And
did.
when beseeching demons, the demonic energy interacting with the unreality of the heart that is still imbued in this item has had the effect, negotiated among fellow players, but ultimately decided by me, of yes, there has been a small transformation on your body. You are not literally becoming Byron, but the fingernails on your hand are now sharpened, pointed, thick, almost veiny fingernails in the way that you are familiar with Byron's corporeal form being. And before anything else happens, we're going to pause there and go to break.
Can I just share really quickly that Matt sent me a DM that says I didn't want to put these in chat so that Sam and Sarah didn't know what was happening, but here are his suggestions in all caps. Spanking machine consequence,
Mhm.
transform his dick to demonic, and demonic butthole. So
Okay, well,
just wanted to share those for you. Thanks, Matt.
yes. So we'll go ahead and let Sam and Sarah chew on how they think.
I'm the only one that this has impacted, not both of us for having gone through the portal.
That is correct. It was a consequence of the beseeching demon spell, not the
Not of the. Okay.
transportation through the portal. Yeah. So we'll let Sam and Sarah chew a little bit on how they might respond to this happening. And when we come back from break, we will pick up with the rest of the Spire crew and hopefully get a chance to circle around at the very end a little bit more to New Heaven, because I would like to also, besides just seeing Din reacting to seeing this, and of course Eddic as well, also give you a little bit of flavor of what you might have encountered upon arriving into New Heaven, where things are spicy. Let's go to break, everyone. We'll see you in 10 minutes for more Spire.
Goodbye, everybody, for 10 minutes.
Hey,
Hoy.
always with the slow clicks on the microphone unmuting. And I know I could just get a shortcut, but I don't. A hotkey thing. Anyway, hey, everybody. It's me, your GM. Welcome back. We have like 40 minutes, so we're just going to hit the pavement here. Let's just remember you can use exclamation point Discord merch and donate to find out about cool stuff in our chat. Yes, we're back. Hello. We're back. Let's see. We're going to start up with Chu, who was going to quickly catch Alvi before splitting ways. So go for it.
Yeah, Chu's gonna kind of motion Alvi to the side and be like, Alvi, I know that you don't like blood witches. I'm not asking you to come with me, but I could use your squishy little brain full of bees and wonder to maybe figure out where I should look for her. Do you have any leads? I know blood witches are kind of like your nemesis, or maybe they like killed your dog or something. I don't know, but
They're the nemesis of all who, care about Spire.
yeah, exactly. People like you, full of bees and joy,
Thank you.
weirdness.
I think.
Yeah.
Elise, would I have any knowledge of blood witchiness since they are kind of like my nemesis?
At least where to look and like start looking for her.
Yeah, like not like, yeah, go right here. But like, I
Uh,
also could I utilize if you say, I mean, I guess I could just wait for your answer. But I also do have mental directory. So I could like ask you a question and then you'd have to give me some kind of answer about where to find the information. Would it be better to use that?
I mean, ultimately, that is what you have just done. It's just an Alvi ability, and so you can actually, like, force my hand a little bit here in terms of what kind of answer you get. So, are you going to use mental directory?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
And so,
because I
okay.
feel like Chu asking me a question is not something that I could even remotely begin to not do.
Okay. So you
We
have
do have a bond.
We sure do.
That's true. And you, with mental directory, I either give you an answer or tell you where to find the answer. Is that correct?
You have to give me the most straightforward way of getting an answer. If you don't
Okay.
have, if you don't
Gotcha,
tell
gotcha,
me the
gotcha.
answer,
Right. Okay.
But I roll investigate and occult.
All right. Roll away.
So I get 3 for this, right? Because technically, my knack is in investigating the stuff with Juwasha and not the stuff with Molly, right?
I think that investigating Molly is so closely tied to investigating Joasha that I am willing to grant this mastery die.
Y'all, I would also just like to note that I don't remember when exactly this happened, but I have under my knacks boobs scream when squished.
Oh yes,
And
they do.
I vaguely recall this, but now I'm seeing it and I'm just thinking, I did a good job with this character.
Yep.
That's how you know.
That's how you know. Yeah, it's when the boobs scream.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, I rolled 2 crit fails and a 4 and a 5.
Yes,
Can't you
did.
re-roll things?
I can if I say I did something completely different. So, can I...
Or rather, you can just like undo the effect of this and then you narrate something else that Alvi would have done.
Yes, I don't have the same one as Edic, where he could just re-roll. I have to be like, no, that didn't happen at all.
Okay.
Here's what I actually did. But then I don't know that I could give the information. I can't fucking give the information now. But yeah, let's say that didn't happen.
Okay, you start to think about it in the way that you do when you kind of use your mental directory and feel an intense, almost other, like from outside your body, psychic pushback against this, and know that if you were to continue, like you have a moment where you see yourself continuing down this path and taking psychic force damage essentially from this mind stress from this, and you kind of bring back and not going to do that. So what does Alvi do instead?
Yeah, no. That's not good for me to tell you that. So,
I need to find her.
Yes. How about if I tell you, maybe instead, I don't know where to find her because I don't. Thinking about where they exist hurts my very being from the core inward to outward. It makes me feel like I'm going to be ripped apart, not just by bees.
God, blood
So,
witches really messed you up,
yeah,
huh?
they're literally the garbage of the earth, and they should be scoured from it.
Noted.
There, Matt did get his exclamation point besmirch. They're the garbage of the earth.
Okay, so instead, what if I do this roll that I have? Because I can redo. No, I can't do the roll at all. That's fucking done because I can only do that once,
Yeah.
and that
Well,
technically
you roll
counts as
for
being
something
done.
else, can't you?
Well, what I would try and do now, Elise, instead, is to think of ways that I could advise her, not about where to find them, but how, like, what are things that I know about them that might help her in talking to them and convincing them to give her information or work with her, kind of a thing. Like, what kind of knowledge do I have? Not about where they are, but about what they could do.
Got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Go ahead and let me think for a second. That will probably be also investigate. I think this would be a low society domain. And you can't take it with the knack because you're now thinking blood witches broadly, not specifically in terms of investigating Molly. So 2d10.
Yep.
Can I assist because I already know some information about how to do this since I spoke to the other blood witch at the market and learned about stuff. So as soon as Alvi starts talking about this, I can be like, "Yep, yeah, I have these like blood vials, etc."
I don't think so because I think
Okay.
this is Alvi
Fair.
just going off of what she already knows as opposed to like researching new information.
Okay. Here comes 2 more crit fails. Oh, yay!
A critical success.
That means you get something extra. The extra could be where she is.
All right, here's what I'll say. You know a few things, and here's the extra bit that I'll give you is that you remember when Molly Duval did live in Perch, because that was a thing that used to be the case. Molly Duval used to live in Perch. And you don't like thinking about that very much, and you know that Molly Duval has moved on since then. However, when you kind of follow that train of thought, you remember the way that her like hut thing in Perch was kind of attached near a boundary fire. It was extremely smoky. You didn't go there ever, but you remember occasionally seeing it and noticing how incredibly shrouded it was. That the Blood Witches, Molly Duval in particular, that when you encountered her, liked to be hidden from view but findable, and was a presence that was well known. It was not a secret that Molly Duval existed here. Her exact location was hard to come by because a lot of people felt the way you just did when they tried to think about how to find her. It's perhaps even an occult effect of hers is to bar people from finding her. And so when you kind of think about all of that, you think rather than what you might, the advice you might give to Chu is rather than specifically hunting down Molly Duval, think about where you would go to be accessible, but where it is dark, where it is hard to find, where maybe your average person doesn't want to go because God, it's really smoky over there, or some effect like that, right? It may not be the same effect twice. That was her trick last time, but that's the kind of thing you start thinking about.
I convey all of that to Chu.
Thanks. Chu kind of smiles and takes out a harpy bone that I have in my inventory for some reason. Don't think it does anything, just have it. And she gives it over to Alvi, and she's like, "Here for your hard work." And hopefully at the end of all of this, I'll see y'all up in whatever New Haven. Look for me at the New Haven. Look for me. What is it that Gandalf says? on the third day, on the like whatever of the rising sun,
Look to the east.
the east of the rising sun. Yeah, she'll come up through like a sky whale in due time. So she says like in like
Elisa's like, "Hmm."
every day in the
Through a
morning,
sky whale.
look for me at a sky whale.
How
in
big
New
is this
Haven.
harpy bone? Like, am I like, is it like a small thing, or am I now like holding like a femur? Or...
It's a pelvis, a whole intact harpy pelvis
Where was Chu hiding that?
in her pelvis. She was
I
wearing
don't think
it
that's
like
the case. I think you got like little things from this. If
Okay,
I
that's
remember
fair, yeah.
correctly from this harpy fight, there wasn't that much of the harpies left.
Yeah, it was a
they were
knuckle
mostly
bone or
swallowed by the
something.
heart. So
It was a wishbone, a harpy wishbone.
there you go, a harpy wishbone. They're part chicken, I guess.
Yeah, they're harpies. Okay, so
Wow, thank you so much. This is actually literally the nicest thing you've ever done for me. So
hey, and that has a really deep secret. I can't tell you about it, but if you unlock it, I mean,
I'll put my ghost to work.
yeah, you thought the bees were big. Think about, well, that's a hint. I can't give you more than that. Good luck. And then she will kind of like walk off, tinking little trinkets off the edge of perch as she goes.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
she do?
And what's she doing?
I think so. Chu is going to think very carefully about kind of the advice that she received. I think her first intuition is the place that she actually originally debuted in, which is the sad dumpster of Spire. I can't remember the name, even though we had a whole campaign there.
Derelictus.
Derelictus. And I think that Chu is going to rack her brain for potential people who may know about the occult side of things, or who may just have like a general knowledge of like the news. I know that I had established a bond with the street people, or was it was the city guards, right? Yeah.
Nope. I believe Din had the bond to the captain of the city guard, which
Oh,
the
yeah,
other bond
that's
available then, or a temporary bond that was to the vigilantes, the bound.
But that was through someone else. Okay. So I think I'm going to use the glamour once more to become like more attractive to the same like city guard dudes that I had seen previously, and go hunt that captain down and try to ask them about where I could potentially find Duval, or if they know anything about that kind of rumor, so that I could hunt down Duval and find the source.
Okay, so you're gonna track down some city guards and ask them about it.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that's a good. I think Chu is a little bit like like she's not really on her own that often, so she doesn't want to go to Bev because Bev's already stressed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you find some city guards, no problem, because as you know, they are out on kind of en masse right now due to the skirmishes with the bound. And yeah, you kind of approach and you ask, one of them is there, and you said you take the time to go through your transformation to make yourself more attractive. This gives you mastery on compel rolls essentially against them. Is that the idea?
It says, I think that you get to determine what it gives, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this guard that you approach is standing at kind of one of these makeshift like barricades where she and her companions are kind of screening people before they're allowed to pass through and continue on their way to make sure that they are not going to attack them or create more problems for the citizenry, whatever that means. And so you kind of approach, and she's not actively working. She seems to be like taking the equivalent of a cigarette break, right? She's just kind of leaning there, like plucking at her fingernails. And it is her that you kind of transform yourself to look like someone that she would find attractive. And so yeah, you kind of adorn yourself with this makeup, and your hand is guided in the way that it always is when you do this. And at the end, you have kind of Chu is already quite a feminine person, and you've kind of like upped this softness, whereas like the sharp cheekbones and things, you've kind of rounded that out and just kind of given your face just this like very nice glow and everything, very soft kind of femininity to Chu now, that comes from this this kind of magical effect of the glamour. And this woman, she's doing just sitting there picking at her fingernails with a dagger, and she kind of looks up, sees you, looks twice, and you kind of clock her, checking you out.
And I will kind of smile and like wink and like sidle over and pull out, I guess, like whatever the equivalent is of like a candy cigarette. It's like she doesn't feel like smoking, but she's
Okay.
like, yeah, hey, I was wondering, I really appreciate all the work y'all do. I think you get a lot of flack, but I think it's, really great that y'all are being so brave out here. And you may have seen the posters around. I'm kind of back now, and I don't know if you recognize me, but I'm hoping that
Oh my God, you're that the Queen of Excess, right?
yes,
Oh my
that's me.
God. My friend saw your concert the other day, the Blood Ball. First of
Yeah.
all, murder is illegal. I just need to remind you of that, but I didn't see anything.
I
So,
didn't kill anybody. They went bananas. That was, I mean, noted. I got to keep my fans under control. I'll make sure to do something about that next time.
yeah.
Wink. Um, and she was like, but, I was wondering, you probably have heard some stuff. And, rumor has it that this Duval lady is, well, she seems to be quite the figure to blame for all of this.
So much unnecessary destruction of property and everything.
Do
It's
you
really
know where she may be? Like, I have connections, and I hate to see Perch in such a state of disarray. And I think we can all agree that having some closure around all of this and putting a stop to all of this would be great. And so, you know, a city guard can guard the city, but sometimes you need connections from somebody a little higher to pursue things a little further. So I just wanted to make myself available as a resource if you maybe knew where she was or had an inkling of where I could go speak to her. I know that they tend to keep themselves as blood witches, but
Yeah, go ahead and roll compel. And this will be the order domain, which we very seldom. There's my
Oh
dog getting real
wow.
excited. This might be the first ever order domain roll.
What is order domain?
The order, law, order.
Oh, okay. Question.
Yes,
Do I have the mastery on this because I'm
yes.
super hot to her? Okay,
And
cool.
you have been
It all
buttering
pays
her up.
off.
Yes.
Yes, it all pays off. All right, here comes legendary roll. An 8.
Hey, an 8 is a full success. And she kind of looks around. Chu, also please make a luck roll on a D10 for me.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. I will do that, and it will be a 10. Nope, it will be a 4.
Okay.
Pretty close. That's a true 10.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and that's just getting set aside. You are talking to this guard, and she's like, okay, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard a lot of the people stationed kind of by like in lower perch, so you would know you're kind of at the border where you are between upper perch and lower perch. And a lot of people stationed in like lower perch, like way lower perch, like basically the bottom of perch where stuff is just kind of like hanging on ropes, have said that they've seen like these new kind of like coming and going things happening down there that really there was like one time where one of the people that I was talking to in the mess was like saying that there was like someone who just like summoned like a I don't know, like a ghost or something out of their like finger. And I think that that's something that like ghost their blood witches do, right? So like if I were you and you really wanted to figure it out and like help the people of Perch like you're saying, that's probably where I would start.
Oh my gosh, that's so helpful. You are just, and then she was like, I really wish I could stay here later, but like maybe we should just, I'll come find you again afterwards. And Chu is going to reach down, and I think like everyone on Perch carries like a rope, right?
Correct.
Chu is going to reach down and like caress her rope and be like, like bless your rope, like may you have luck, and give it a little kiss. and
Okay.
activate the disintegration spell, and then
Oh,
just
no!
Oh my
walk away
God.
afterwards.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a second D10 luck die.
Oh damn! Second one at least. Why me? A 10.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. A critical success on that one. Well, I mean, a 10. Well, it's a luck
Yeah.
die. It's not really the same as like
Critical
something that does
success.
critical successes or not. Okay, so yeah, she kind of like wishes you to be safe as you travel and reminds you to keep an eye out for the vigilantes who are just ruining this city. Why can't they just do things the proper way? If they really want to be city guards, they should have just made it through training. And you are permitted to go through the barricade and into the kind of walkways of perch.
I will say I do have to take 1d3 stress. It just says stress. I don't know what kind it is, so I will let you kind of decide that. But I take 3 stress, I guess.
Okay. Where this is for the glamour
For
or
destruction.
the destruction.
For dissolving her vital rope with a kiss
Yeah,
for
her
no
god
reason
rope.
other
Her
than
god rope.
for no reason other than she was like a terrible person.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put that.
I did roll a 10 on that luck roll though, so you know.
So
You
I
did.
do want to ask, like, why do you dissolve things then if it only causes you stress? Because aren't you supposed to like destroy beautiful things for the deep or whatever?
Well, yeah, but people worship their ropes in Purge.
Yeah, so are you trying to like get what does dissolving the rope do for you?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she just gets off on it.
Okay, it's just an
She's
act of
just
devotion for Chu.
she doesn't like that people have things that they enjoy. She's a bad for yeah, she's just like very high. It's the same thing with the chair. It doesn't really bring her
Yeah.
anything.
So
I mean,
but
maybe I get a refresh from it, but I don't that'd be
yeah,
up to
take
her.
stress to refresh stress is kind of weird though. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put this against reputation.
Okay. Cuz she's going to remember like afterwards like, oh, she must have done something.
Yeah, and roll fallout for that.
Okay, I have 1 stress cuz I had 2 reputation resistance.
Oh, okay, then
So
don't roll fallout because you can't get a
okay.
0 on a d10. So
Okay.
okay. Yeah, you continue on, and Chu, you start to make your way down through Perch. Uh, um, the list of missing people, you may recall, like they change from place to place because these are just handwritten, updated lists, not necessarily something that. And so, as you get kind of deeper or lower through the walkways of Perch, you do come across many more of these, and you. Continue your way down, just seeing all these lists, and you are struck by the fact that like quite a lot of people's names are on these lists. I mean, these lists have popped up not just in Upper Perch, not just in the first place that you saw, the first street that you walked, but kind of throughout Perch, these lists are popping up of just people who have gone missing. And as you're walking along, you know, not many people are out, but it seems that one of the few kind of like pe- groups of people granted amnesty to just walk the streets without being bothered by either the bound or the city guard are those who have come to add a name to the list. And you see this occur a couple times and you kind of put that together. And as you make your way into yet another section of Perch, you pass somewhere where the walkways are almost completely destroyed and you have to very carefully step your way around. A skirmish happened here recently. There are, in fact, several dead city guard and dead members of the bound still left out here where carrion birds have come to start picking at them. No one has tended to these bodies. And as you pass through that section and further down into Perch, you enter territory controlled by the bound. And as you do so, materializing kind of out from the shadows around you are several of these vigilantes. And 2 of them kind of step up next to you and kind of jostle you forward into a third who stands just completely bodily in your way and stops you. And the one who kind of shoved you into the third kind of takes a step back, and their face is kind of masked with these leather straps. And as they do so, they look you over and then they turn to the person who's kind of stood in your way and stopped you and said, "Yeah, this is the one I saw getting all cozy with that guard up there. And we are going to cut away from Chew to Alvi and Dracul. And you've just, Alvi, you finished your conversation with Chew, and you have been disguised by Din to look more like a servant of the Alfir. And what are Alvi and Dracul up to?
Well, I'm going to walk up to him and immediately just start talking and asking questions. So I'm going to be like, so your name is Dracul? That's interesting. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your history? What do you plan on doing? Is it just, what do you like? What do you dislike? We have a little bit of ways to go, right? So we should fill the time. Let me know about you. What makes Dracul tick?
Alvi, you ask many questions. Does anyone ask you questions, Alvi?
No one ever seems to care about my answers, so.
I would like to ask you a question. How do you think we should proceed?
Oh, that's a big question. I'm still not exactly sure how are we going to make Callisto and his group not mad at my existence?
Real quick, this is a Tyler question for Elise. So my ability to kind of get the, hey, I know you from somewhere kind of a thing, only works on people I could have hypothetically interacted with, per the like the back end of the ability. Is it possible that Callisto would have been in contact with Elfir? Yeah.
Yes, you specifically know that Callisto's brand of entertainment, his show business side of things, is one that he has Alfir patrons of.
Okay, great. I thought that was something that we got at some point long ago, but I wanted to double check.
For free, I will add to that there is every reason to believe that EO would additionally, as the business manager side of things, as far as you know, which all of you, that's basically what you've put together from interacting with EO, would also.
Perfect. Okay, great.
So I don't know if exactly we want to try and maybe talk to him and see if he'll let us. I mean, I don't know why he would introduce us to I almost call him Joshua. Joshua. Should we go and try and convince him based on his music side? Should we try and convince him based on his demonic side? On his drug side? On his
has met me before.
You literally just started existing. What?
Yes. Welcome to the world of whatever is in the mind of this Anders.
Have I met you before?
You have not. I am new.
Damn.
Once I kill Juasha, I will be more permanent, I think.
That's a terrifying thought. So you're not going to try and do what Juasha is doing, right? Where you're going to start taking all this blood and other demonic things and killing a whole bunch of people so that you can live forever?
No, absolutely not. The Elfir do not know how to be Elfir. I will show them how to be truly powerful.
This sounds weirdly supremacist, and now I'm nervous.
No, you see, it is complicated. I am still Drow, but I am also Elfir. So I would very much like to murder many Elfir. But that is to, put the Elfir in their place as the way an Elfir can do in this society. But it is also, in a way, still for the Drow, as much as I hate saying that.
Did you know that most people believe that Drow are actually cursed forms of Elfir?
This form may prove that theory.
So we need to convince Callisto to introduce us to...
Callisto owes me a favor.
I do want to point out, as y'all are walking the streets of Perch, as a high elf?
Oh, I assumed we hadn't left yet.
Okay. I thought because I heard like we've got a long way to go, so I thought maybe this was a walk.
Oh yeah,
talk
I
situation.
could start walking, but he'll probably just stay there, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're standing
All of
here and
this,
conversing
all
a
of
bit."
the sensitive information, Dracul does not want leaving this small little
Okay,
meeting
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
room. Yes. So, Elvi, as we are walking the streets, do not be buddy with me. That would be very bad. I know you know me as Andor's. I am not. I am an Elfir. You must treat me as such. Know that I value your opinion, but out there, you may not be seen as such, especially when we are on the streets.
Okay, I can do that. Can you promise me something?
Depending on what it is, a strong possibility.
Don't be mean to me.
It is very difficult for me to be mean to you for some reason. I do not know why.
That's
You
good.
will
Most
have
people don't find it hard at all, so that's actually really
Oh.
reassuring.
you'll have all of the respect I can muster.
Can I
You
just tell
are
you- Okay. Yeah.
you are a highborn drow. You are advisor drow. This good?
Yes, it's good. Okay, since we can't really talk before we go, and it's going to be a really long walk, can I just tell you one interesting thing? Since Callisto Brox is a musician, technically, right? He is a performer.
Yes. I think so. Does he do the performing, or does he? No, he paints. Doesn't he paint with blood? Some shit.
He
Like some
does.
weird.
He is like he's a one man show, but a lot of that show does sure involve the destruction of drow life.
Yeah.
But singing is involved. Much like Chew, but with less true artistry and more just savagery.
If I'm going to have to be quiet for a while, it just helps me if I can get some of the out. So if I could just tell you that some people believe that Spire is a musical instrument that was built by the god of music, and it was used to be played by the winds and the rain, but now the races that living on it block the pipes and it no longer works. But maybe if everybody wasn't here anymore, it would become a musical instrument again.
Wait, are you saying that Spire is a musical instrument?
That's just one theory. I mean, there's a bunch of other theories. I could tell you a whole bunch of theories if you want to. Some of them involve eggs. Do you want to know one of them about eggs?
Please tell me. I need to know about the eggs now.
Yeah, smash
So
cut to
some
like
people
30 minutes
believe-
later when you actually
Yes.
leave the
That Spire is the tip of an extra-dimensional ovipositor from which world eggs are produced, and this one has nearly been disgorged entirely.
Do we need to know what Matt's putting in the chat right now? I don't think we do. Okay. So y'all
And we're off.
y'all head out. I will give you the same prompt, knowing what you know, that the streets of Perch are dangerous right now given the state of the skirmishes. How would you go about navigating that?
Well, I at least
Um,
behave in such a way that I know from having worked with Elfir before, I won't, I can fall back into that as need be and not like take the lead or anything.
Yeah, so getting us to like a sky whale, would we have to pass like checkpoints to get there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and march on up to the nearest guard post station. Is there like is it a gaggle? Is it more of a toll
no,
booth?
it's not tons of people out, so it's not like tons of people like flocked and kind of stuck in this area. You do see one of them, one of the guards is like, I don't know what happened. It was fine, and now it's just like dissolved, like holding up like shreds, like decaying shreds of her god rope. This is absolutely the person that Chew was talking to. But yeah, there's just like 2 or 3 other guards, and a few citizens, all of whom are just staring at you now because the fact that a high elf is just waltzing the streets of Perch, the streetsies. But yeah, is quite unusual in this area.
The
The
law.
city
I
guards
would
like rapidly like stand at attention when they see you.
Yes. Thank you. Stand at attention. I would very much like an escort to the Sky Whales. I would like to leave this place. I have seen the sights. It is unbecoming. You should do a better job of cleaning the bodies.
Yeah, absolutely, my lord. And you see like someone looks over and like gestures to other guards forward, and they kind of dispatch them as like a detail for you, and begin to escort you through the walkways of Perch. They specifically take you around. You start to notice, because you have enough familiarity with Perch, even though your high elf persona might not, to know that like this is not the most direct route to the Sky Whales, but this is, you're piecing together perhaps like the most controlled route right now. They're avoiding anywhere where open skirmishes may have recently occurred, and you might see evidence of dead guards or destruction, etc. Yeah, and you get to the Sky Whales, and they wave, some people out of the way, and there's a lot of people who are trying to leave Perch right now, and you are essentially there are a lot of the Sky Whale docks are a bit of a neutral zone in the skirmishes right now. Neither the guards nor the bound are obstructing or trying to control access to the Sky Whales, giving the citizenry of Perch who can afford and have somewhere to go the option here to essentially flee the violence. There aren't that many people trying to do that. You saw perhaps more people on the streets, just high out of their minds, kind of carving these weird carvings into the walls using knives. Then you see actually trying to flee the area, and you think that perhaps the number of people affected by the Drek epidemic is pretty severe, and that it's also limiting how many people might be trying to take advantage of options to flee Perch right now. And so yeah, it's not hard to get onto a Sky Whale, and assuming you just buy a ticket.
Yeah. Is that going to be a silver stress, or what's
Yeah,
the?
not even. I think that this is within the for just two of you. You're just trying to get somewhere like kind of close by. Yeah, and within not very long, you are on your way to the Silver Quarter, where things are considerably different. As you disembark and make your way, I assume you're making your way straight to Callisto and Eo's
Yes,
house.
absolutely.
Okay. As you make your way there, Alvi, you notice you pass a known to you entrance or exit from the Vermissian, and at first you're about to just kind of walk past it, and you see a gutterkin kind of poke its head out and then poke its head back in. And that draws your attention enough. Like, that's fairly common for the gutterkin to come and go through the Vermissian. And it draws your attention enough that you turn around and you look, and you see evidence of recent movement of heavy machinery, or what could be heavy machinery, through the entryway to this. There are scuffs in the ground. Whatever the material of the ground is here, it is scratched up, scuffed up, as if something very heavy, large, and metal was dragged across it. And once it gets kind of out further into the actual streets of the Silver Quarter, it kind of stops being the case. Either the material of the road has changed such that it no longer can be scuffed that way, or whatever was being hauled away was transferred to something else or lifted differently, etc.
Did I recognize the gutterkin?
No, this is not a gutterkin,
I want to meet one of my gutterkin friends sometime.
Duly noted.
They all have names.
They all have names.
Can I look at Dracul and just Rachel doesn't know the proper way to do these things, so Alfie does. and just ask if I can go. Something strange is happening. Is it okay if I go and check out?
Yes, go.
Okay, thank you. And I want to look at the Vermisian door, and can I open it and see anything?
Yeah, this is just kind of one of those general like known entry exit points. It's not like a door that you have to open or anything. It's
Right. Is there a gutter nearby that I could
yeah.
perhaps?
So you kind of come in and like look around a bit, and that same gutterkin kind of you see, because you're familiar with the gutterkin enough that you kind of know where to look. And as you make eye contact with them, they're a little rat person, and they've got kind of an ear that has like a little clip in it from something, and they kind of duck behind something really fast when they notice them, and like peek back out around at you a little bit curiously but a little bit scared.
And I get down on my knees and I say, hello, I'm a friend.
Prove it.
And I do the secret handshake that Janice the rat taught me that all the rat gutterkins know.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Janice the rat sure did teach you that. And very quickly this gutterkin goes from very suspicious to sniffing at your pockets for treats.
Ooh, can I say that I have treats? I don't know.
Sure, I don't know. Like, it's not like a dog. It's just like it just wants, like, if you have any scraps of food on you, it just wants a scrap.
I
of
always
food.
have, just in case we go through the Vermisian.
Yeah, sure.
And we need to be,
Yeah.
Hi. So what's your name?
Fuck. Why do I do this to myself?
Your name is
Yeah, right.
Give me small creatures to talk to, and I will ask their names.
Flower.
Flower. Sure. Flower. And you do see now that like this, where the little like clip in the ear is on the back of it is, when I say clip, like I mean like it's like an earring kind of thing, not like a I hope that didn't sound weird or different, but I could have just said earring. The back of it is a little daisy.
Flower, hello, I'm Alvy. It's lovely to meet you.
Hi. Thanks for this. And
oh, anytime. Your hands are so little and delicate. So I noticed there looks like there's been some kind of heavy machinery or something dragged through here. I see there's a lot of scrapings going into the corner. I was just wondering, could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay, so you know how sometimes when you're in like the tunnels inside here, and she points further in to the Vermisian, there's like those places where there used to be the big whoosh, and you deduce she's talking about trains. It was like somebody was taking all the stuff from those out.
All the train parts?
What's a train?
It's the thing that goes whoosh.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Was it one person? Was it many people?
I saw at least 6. I can count to 6.
I'm very proud of you. That is impressive. Did they do it recently? I mean, I'm assuming since this was all just here.
It was like I've slept a couple times.
So your eyes and your ears and your nose are very, very good at noticing things. Did you notice anything weird or peculiar about these 6 with the whoosh?
It smelled like if somebody came through and like cut their arm on something, and then the smell of like the stuff that they leave behind, like when you get like a cut, like the blood.
Yes, blood. That's
yeah,
blood.
yeah. It kind of smelled like that.
Oh, that's concerning, but it's fine. Have they come back? Was it just a one-time thing?
I don't know. I don't stay here all the time.
Flower, could I ask you a favor? I'll give you more treats.
You can ask.
Would it be possible for you to find your other friends that lead around in the Vermisian and ask them if they've seen anything like this? And then perhaps you could either send one to talk to me, or I can have Lola, my goat, come and find you and relay the information.
Go ahead and roll compel. We'll give you the domain What would the domain here be? Probably occult. You're in the Vermisian-ish?
I'll have 3.
Okay.
A 7.
Okay. So a 7 is a success with a cost. So as you kind of do this, the cost is going to be Flowers like, I will do this, but you know how you gave me like this little scrap? I know like a lot of my friends kind of don't get a lot of food, so if I could just like prove to them, like you prove to me that you mean well, then that would be better. So, and you can essentially take a stress to silver here and provide food to Flower to get her to do it.
Okay, so I'm at 1 stress now.
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
you need food to the Gurkin need food? Should I
Oh, it's okay. Like we find our food all the time, but this is one of the ways we find our food, is like we get people to give us food. So,
do you occasionally like cakes though?
yes.
Okay. We'll work it
Also,
out.
occasionally newspapers.
Oh, I could definitely do that.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, you provide Flower kind of with some food and she disappears in. We do have to wrap up. So as Alvi kind of rejoins Dracul and conveys some of this, I presume, to him. Let's cut one more time. We're not going to do any role playing up here. Sorry, I promise,
Can I
Eddic. Oh,
just tell you that I have so many more facts about the trains inside the Vermisian, but I didn't figure that Flower was the person to tell them
Flower,
to. So just,
you're right.
but I
um,
have so many train facts.
I got you.
yeah.
Brainbacks.com.
So next session we'll get to hear a little bit about Din and Eddic not only reacting to this transformation on Eddic's body, but additionally, as you step out into the streets of New Heaven, you are immediately struck by what in the past has been largely a place, an orderly place. People come here for really one reason, it's to see priests of the dead, whether carrion priests or the, what's Bertold? Morticians.
Mortician, yep.
Yeah, that's been largely, in your experience, the only reasons people really come to New Heaven. It's too sunny, it's too windy, it's too exposed otherwise. And instead of the kind of slow, orderly marketplace that you encountered last time you arrived here, you come out and you, Din, I think you're just immediately that kind of sense memory of everything you experienced in that vision comes flooding back to you. You smell it. Uh, Edic absolutely having a nose for sulfur and demonic activity smells it. But I think to Din, it's more of that kind of like burnt smell to the air. Not smoke, but like burning smell, ozone. And this kind of weird way that something a few blocks over catches your eye and you turn and you look and nobody, not a single soul is between you and where the thing that you now see is. Everybody has vacated the premises. There are people behind you, but nobody has come as close as you are to this and it's still several blocks away. And you see the buildings and the road are several days ago, so you are seeing the aftermath, seemed to turn to wax that melted. The buildings are literally melting like wax. The roads are running and now frozen back to their original material as far as you can visually discern, but looked like they had been turned into some sort of tacky liquid, ran for a bit, and in the mid flow froze again. There are people stuck in this, dead, that you can see carrion birds and hyenas of the carrion priests have willfully wandered over and picked those bodies down to the bone by already. You see that The glass windows that would have existed in the buildings that melted are just evaporated. There's no trace of them. They're gone. There's not shattered glass anywhere, nothing like you would expect to see. You see on the ground and on the side of the building these traces of something that looks like long claw, but not scrape marks, but more like just as if they were covered in soot or sludge, just raking across the top of this scene. And this was without a doubt a demonic incursion that occurred up here and created this devastation. Some days ago, Edic would absolutely piece together that this is probably what affected Byron. Din would piece together that this is, from her kind of visions and compulsions around this, what is driving her here to witness. It is not the kind of incursion that you saw in the crystal ball that could destroy Spire, but it reminds you of that in such a way where you know that the danger, you already knew it was real. Now the danger feels present, imminent, and you have seen firsthand on a much smaller scale that it's already happening in New Heaven. And that is where we're going to break for tonight. So, or not like to break, but to stop, I should say, for the night. So, well played, everyone. There are more surprises in store. And we will, pick up there. I think next week we're playing, but I'm not sure. That may not be the case. Might be off next week. We'll let you know. There's some cliffhangers for you to hold on to in the meantime. Friends, thanks for being here. Don't forget you can hang out with us. In the Discord. You can buy our merch, like this cool Moontree mug. You can watch us play Moontree Isle tomorrow, where things are gonna be real cool and fun.
Fine.
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 Things will be fine. We promise. And then you can see Rachel GM on Monday at 7:00. And continue on with that kind of stuff. So we super love you.
Yeah. Good job, viewers.
Good
Y'all
job,
did great.
viewers.
Putting up with that, huh?
Yes, you have done an excellent job here. Everybody, viewers, players, Sarah with the notes, amazing. All right, friends, from the Spire crew, we wish you a wonderful evening. Good night, my friends.
Goodbye.